If you have your Bibles, please turn with me over to Judges chapter 1. And I want to share with you a message that I believe will be a blessing to you today. If you've come here today and you've got any kind of an issue, any kind of a problem, I'm hoping that today a word will come forth that will help you to deal with that and help you to realize what kind of power you have in Christ Jesus. So turn with me over there to Judges, and I'm going to find it here in a minute myself. I think it's in the Old Testament. It's right around there, and so you find it while I'm looking for it as well. My Bible's not turning its pages quite as excitedly as I had hoped it would. Is everybody happy today? You love the Lord today? Are you saved? Are you sanctified? Okay. Are you filled with the Holy Spirit? Amen. Are you healed? Okay. Let me read this to you. One of my difficult passages. Because when you hear it, you might not kind of relate to it when I first read it to you. So I'm going to explain it to you, please. Okay? In Judges chapter 1, now after the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, who shall go up for us against the Canaanites first to fight against them? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. And Judah said unto him, Simeon his brother, come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites. And I likewise will go with thee into thy lot. So Simeon went with him. And Judah went up, and the Lord delivered the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand, and they slew of them in Bezek 10,000 men. And they found Adonai-Bezek in Bezek, and they fought against him, and they slew the Canaanites and the Perizzites. But Adonai-Bezek fled, and they pursued after him and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and his great toes. And Adonai-Bezek said, 70 kings, having their thumbs and their great toes cut off, gather their meat under my table. As I have done, so God hath requited me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and there he died. Now, is it all right if I move down there? I'm going to take my water with me too. Good? Right here, God. That's okay. Adonai-Bezek. You ever heard that name before? You know what it means. It's kind of an interesting name. The name Adonai means Lord. And the name Bezek means lightning. So this king's name is Lord Lightning. That's quite a name for an evil king, and it kind of describes what he was like and what kind of fellow he was. Lord Lightning. I want you to go with me for just a moment back in time, and I want you to think about a Middle Eastern banquet way back hundreds of years ago. I want you to think about what it would have been like to be in a banquet room, and I'm going to describe it for you a little bit. In this banquet room, there's a lot of people gathered, hundreds of people, and there are tables that are all around the room, and those tables are covered with heavy tablecloths, thick, that go all the way to the floor. At one end of the room, there's an elevated place, much like this platform here, and on that platform is another table, and the guest of honor, the man for whom this party is being given, is seated there. Do you see him behind that table? He's Adonai-Bezek. He's Lord Lightning. He's sitting there watching over everyone, having this gay, glorious time of celebration. Something strange begins to happen in the midst of this gay event as you begin to notice there's a sound, a whimpering sound, that's coming from underneath the table that you're nearest to. And you can't quite comprehend it. It doesn't make sense because Why would there be whimpering? Why would there be crying in an atmosphere like this? And so as not to bring any attention to yourself, you move closer to the table nearest you, and you stand right beside it to identify the sound. And yes, it's true, that sound is coming from underneath that table. Someone's under there. They're hidden by the tablecloth. So you gently bend over and grab the hem of that tablecloth, and you lift it, and you peek under the table, and to your amazement, what you see there is a man whimpering, crying. You notice that he is chained. He's chained to other men that are under the table, and as others join you and begin to look under these tablecloths, you begin to realize that there's not one, there's not two, there's not three, but there are many men that are chained under these tablecloths. They're crying, and they're sad, and they're begging for a morsel, a crumb that would fall off the table. As you look closer, you realize that something strange has happened to these men. You notice that they don't have any thumbs anymore. Where their thumbs were, there's just bloody stumps. You look closer and you realize that they're on their feet. There are no great toes. Their big toes also have been severed, and there's nothing there but bloody stumps there too. You begin to wonder, what is this all about? How did this happen? What are these men doing chained under these tables at the big celebration for Adonai-Bezek, for Lord Lightning? You see, Lord Lightning explains it to us when he's captured. He says, doesn't he? He says, 70 kings I have taken and cut off their thumbs and their big toes, and I've chained them under my table, and they're begging bread from me. Who are these guys? Who are these men? Well, see, we know from Lord Lightning's explanation that these men were once kings. These men were once sovereign kings. These men were once powerful kings that ruled over nations. But something has happened to them. Something has occurred in their life that has turned all of that around, and now they are the very opposite of kings. They're slaves. What happened to them? How did this occur? You see, first of all, I want you to notice that these kings are disgraced sovereigns. They've been disgraced. They have had their honor taken away from them. They have been stripped of all of their royalty. They have absolutely been brought to the lowest place that they could have been brought. Another thing about these 70 sovereigns is that they have been dethroned. They have been taken off of their thrones where they reigned and ruled over a nation, 70 nations. They have absolutely been taken out off of their pedestal, and they have had their thumbs and their toes severed. They've been chained and they're put under the tables of the Lord Lightning, who's sitting at the head table. He's laughing. They've been dethroned. Why were they dethroned? I would submit to you they were dethroned because they allowed it to happen to them. They allowed themselves to become complacent. They allowed themselves to think that they no longer had to be vigilant. They allowed themselves to believe that they had arrived and that there was nothing more for them to do and there was nothing more for them to worry about. They were kings after all. Who would bother kings? Yet they've been disgraced and they've been dethroned. Notice also they've been defunded. Why would you capture a king and cut off his thumbs? What would be the purpose in that, other than just to be cruel? Well, there's more to it than that. For you see, in order to be a king, you first of all had to be a warrior. And in order to be a warrior, you had to be a good warrior, you had to wield a sword. In those days, you had to be able to hold a sword in your hand to go on the battlefield and to be able to fight the enemy and show and prove yourself that you were worthy to be a great warrior and to rise to a place of being a king. So if he took their thumbs off, guess what? It assured that they would never, ever again be able to hold a sword. They would never again be a warrior. They would never again rise to be a king. He took all that hope away from him, and he's laughing at them now. Why did he come off their toes? Well, you see, in addition to being able to wield a sword, you need to be able to stand your ground when you're on the battlefield. You need to have balance. And I'm told that the last part of your body to touch the ground when you're walking or running is your big toe. And that without your big toe, it's difficult and in some cases impossible for you to be able to stand and walk and keep your balance. You don't think much about your big toe, do you? But it's very important. And so he cut off their big toes so that they would never, ever again be able to stand on a battlefield and have their balance and be able to wage war and rise back to that place of prominence that they once had. Do you follow me? 70 sovereigns chained, dethroned, detoed, dethumbed, disgraced, chained under Lord Lightning's favor. Let me bring us back now to a modern day illustration. Let's talk not about 70 sovereigns, but let's talk about contemporary Christians today. You see, Lord Lightning, obviously, you've already guessed, is symbolic of Satan. For Jesus even said, when the disciples, he sent out 70 disciples and he brought them back 2 by 2. They came back and they were rejoicing that even the devils were subject unto them. You remember Jesus said, don't rejoice over that. Rejoice because your names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And he said, for I saw Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Back before you and I were ever on this earth, back before there was any human beings on this earth, Satan tried to rise up and overcome God. He was playing the king of the mountain syndrome. He said, I will be God. And he tried, but God took him down and cast him to earth. And Jesus said, I was there when that happened, and I saw him like lightning fall. But how many of you know that our enemy, the devil, still goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour? How many of you know that Satan is still active in this world today, and that he has been defeated at the cross of Calvary, but there's still that satanic power that's working today, and Satan is doing everything he can to disrupt God's plan and God's purpose in the church and in your life. So let's go back and look at contemporary Christians for a moment. I would submit to you that there are many contemporary Christians today that have been dethroned. You might say, well, we're not kings. Really? Isn't that what it says in the book of Revelation? I believe it's chapter 20, verse 6. Doesn't it say that he has made us kings and priests? Isn't that obvious that that's what God... You see, too many people today walk around and say things like, oh, I'm just a sinner saved by grace. There's not much to me. I'm just pitiful and poor, and I'm hanging on by the skin of my teeth, and I just hope I'll make it to heaven one day. Did you know God never in His Word ever referred to a Christian or one of His people as a sinner saved by grace? Why? Because He has taken all of your sins and cast them as far as the east is from the west away from you, never to be remembered against you again. He doesn't identify you that way. He doesn't see you that way. He doesn't name you that way. God sees you as a saint over and over and over again. God says you are a saint if you've been born by the blood of Jesus Christ. And He says you are a king. In other words, you are royalty. Your elder brother is the Son of God. Anytime. But you see, sadly, contemporary Christians today have lost sight of who they are. They've allowed themselves to buy a lie from Lord Lightning, who says you're nothing. You will amount to nothing. You'll never be anything. You're fooling yourself. You're just never going to make it. You're not worth anything. You're worthless. Some of you have heard that before. Some of you have been told that before. Some of you in your past, you have faced abuse as children, and you believed in your heart that because of that abuse, which was none of your fault, that you were worthless, that you weren't any good, and that you'd never be any good. And even though you've come and you've knelt and you've prayed and you've asked Jesus to come into your heart, the devil wants you to keep believing that you're worthless. But God wants you to believe that you're worth everything. Because you see, God sent His only begotten Son into this world to save you. And He wouldn't save you if you weren't worth something. He loves you that much. If there had been another way, God would have found it. But there was no other way. He had to send Jesus Christ down on this earth to be crucified and killed and buried for you to be saved. You're worth so much. And when Lord Lightning creeps into your life and tells you you're worthless because of some mistake you've made in the past, or because of some abuse or misuse that has happened in your yesterday, don't you believe it. I want you to understand, it's time for the people of God to stand up. It's not a prideful thing. We're not trying to say I'm something, but we're saying He is something, and realize that we are kings and priests. Realize who we are. So when the devil comes in like a flood, we can raise up a standard against him. We can stand up against the walls of the enemy. We can know who we are, and we have the power through Jesus Christ to defeat the enemy every time. Amen. Praise God. You're not junk. You're not junk. You're valuable. You say, oh, but you don't know what I've done. I can't live down my past. I can't quit thinking about what I did. I can't stop the replay in my brain of the mess that I've made. And you know, maybe that's true. I doubt there's anybody here that doesn't have baggage. In fact, I know there's not. There's nobody here that doesn't have baggage. And the older you are, you might have more baggage. I don't know. But every one of you, every one of us, we're broken. We're broken. That's why we came to Jesus. If we weren't broken, why would we need Jesus? Jesus said those that are whole don't need a physician, but those that are sick. And I don't know about you, but when I got saved, I was sick. I was sin sick. I was a mess. I was a hot mess. But He saved me. And the night that He saved me, I was so happy, I was so thrilled, I was so excited. And for weeks after that, I was excited. Let me tell you, the devil did everything in his power to discourage me. He did everything in his power to defeat me. He did everything in his power to make me give up. But you know what? I had a holy boldness in me. The Holy Ghost had come into me, and I had a holy boldness, and I had learned from my mama years ago how to ball up my fist and fight the devil right there in my own home when he would come against me. I learned how to say no in the name of Jesus by the blood and the authority of Jesus Christ. You cannot come any farther. You must stop right where you are. I learned that, but you know what happened? As time went on, Lord Lightning convinced me that I didn't have that right anymore. Weak. And I became quiet. And I no longer asserted my authority against the devil. And I just became mild and meek. And that's what He wanted. He didn't care. He doesn't care if you're a Christian, really. He just cares that you're not an active Christian. He just doesn't want you to be doing anything. I was in a church one time that I pastored, and a lady in that church, she was convinced that we had been targeted by witches. A coven of witches had come into our church. And she was convinced that they were there, and she would drive home a different way every day from church because she was afraid the witches were following her. She was convinced there were witches. One day she was talking to me, and I said, "There are no witches in our church." And she said, "How do you know?" I said, "Because the devil's not going to send witches to a church that's not doing anything." Isn't it true? In fact, the devil delights in a church that just sits back on its laurels and doesn't do anything. That's exactly what the devil wants. The devil doesn't want you reaching this community. The devil doesn't want you reaching out beyond these four walls. The devil doesn't want you doing something for Jesus Christ. The devil just wants you to come to church, be a navel gazer, sit in that chair, get what you can get over and over and over and over again. Just get it, let's soak it in like a sponge. Be a consumer. You know what a consumer is? You know, if you join the country club, you pay your dues every month, and you expect the greens to be mowed, you expect the bathrooms to be clean, you expect the dining room to be, nice food and all, and if they don't provide what you expect, what do? You take your dues and you go somewhere else, right? That's what many people have the idea of in the church. I'll come to church, I'll pay my dues, I'm going to sit here, and you bless me if you can. And everything is better operate and run the way I like it, the way my tastes are, because if no, I'll get up and go somewhere else. And that is not the way Christians are supposed to believe. You see, we are not consumers. We are supposed to be servants in the house of God. Amen. Don't allow the devil, don't allow Lord Lightning to dethrone you and take you down from where God wants you to be. Recognize and realize today who you are. Then, a lot of contemporary Christians today have been dethroned. You say, well, we don't need our thumbs like those kings did. Oh, really? I'm talking spiritual here, folks. I'm talking about your spiritual thumb. The Bible says that the Word of God is sharper than a two-edged sword. The Word of God is your weapon of offense. There is no other weapon of offense. There is no other weapon of offense given to you. In fact, we've got a helmet of salvation. We have our feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Our loins are girded with truth. We have the breastplate of righteousness. All of those are defensive weapons. God only gave us one offensive weapon, and that was the Word of God, the sword of the Spirit. And I'll tell you what's wrong with so many Christians today in the contemporary world in which we live is they have lost the ability to handle the Word of God. They don't read it, they don't study it, they don't live by it, they don't love it. I'm here to tell you, church, we've become weak. The Bible still says, my people are destroyed for a lack of speaking in tongues. You know what it says? Wait a minute, did I get it wrong? My people are destroyed for a lack of shouting. My people are destroyed for a lack of programs. My people are destroyed for a lack of money. My people are destroyed, God said, for a lack of knowledge. And you see, this word right here is your sword. It is the only way you'll defeat the enemy. You can stand all day long and try to hold on and say, devil no, devil no, devil no. And the devil, Lord Lightning, will pick you up and put you in his hip pocket and walk out the door with you. The only thing that defeats Lord Lightning is when you say, it is written, thus saith the Lord. You come this far and you can come no further. I draw a line in the sand by the Word of God. The Word of God gives you your authority to fight the devil. And only the Word of God. And Lord Lightning has taken so many Christians today, and he has taken off their spiritual thumbs, and they no longer have the power to wield the Word of God. It's watered down, in fact. You go to churches today, not this church, but you go to some churches today, and it's all about making people feel good. It's all about tickling their senses. It's all about giving them candy when what they need is they need some real word. But yet, the Bible warned us of this. It said in the last days that dangerous times would come, that men would heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, wanting to hear what they want to hear. And if that man of God preaches God's word and offends, people will get up and leave and say, I got to hear that. But you know, it didn't used to be that way. It used to be people listened to the word of God and they praised God when the preacher stepped on their toes. Can I get an amen? Thirdly, they were vetoed. Why would you think about contemporary Christians being vetoed? It has to do, my friend, with balance. You see, it always has amazed me. All through church history, the pendulum has either been way over here in liberalism or it's been way over here in Phariseeism. I don't know about you, but I kind of grew up in a Pharisaical age. I grew up in a time when the poor women, they got all the negative stuff. The men made the rules, and they always made it about the women. There weren't many rules about the men. It was the women's hair, it was the women's dress, it was the women's jewelry, it was the women this, the women that, the women this. We had a preacher one time come fill in for me at a church I was pastoring, and he in fact was a conference official. I won't call his name. He's gone on to be with the Lord, and I believe he is with the Lord, but he preached hard that Sunday morning. I was sick, I was home, I didn't hear it, my wife did, and she brought him home after church to eat dinner with us, and my wife was raised Catholic. She doesn't mind asking questions. Hard questions. Sometimes she'll say things that'll just, you're like, what? Like she said one time to me, she said, why is it when the preacher calls on Brother Johnson to pray, everybody prays? I can't hear Brother Johnson. And I said, well, you know, that's because, it's because of, I said, I don't know. Questions like, why is it when people shout, they always run to the front of the church? They never run to the back. Questions. So she asked this preacher this question. She said, you preached about women wearing jewelry today, but I noticed that your lapel is full of all kinds of jewelry, pins, and things. And he looked at her and he said, why, sister, these are badges. I grew up in that kind of atmosphere. My mother would take me to the movies when she would pick me up. I had to ride the bus to the theater, and the last thing she would say to me before I would leave the house is, you know, son, that Jesus can come while you're in that theater. And I'm sitting there watching a G-rated movie. They didn't have ratings back then, but something like Robinson Crusoe, something really benign. And every time the air conditioner would come on, I'd jump up and go, oh, the Lord's come. I was scared to death I was going to get left behind because I was sitting in a movie theater. How ridiculous. How foolish. That's because the pendulum swings so far one way or the other. And so often it's way over here on the Pharisaical side where everybody's judging everybody else. I don't have time to judge anybody else because I tell you, I got enough junk in my own life to quit worrying about whether you're wearing an earring or cut your hair or any foolishness like that. I'll tell you something, I have got to work on me. Quit worrying about everybody else. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Or it swings way over here. This is where we're at today. Anything goes. Let's just bring the whole world into church. Let's look like the church. Let's sound like the church. Or sound like the world and look like the world. Let's let the church and the world be indistinguishable from each other. Don't you know those two extremes are both wrong? There's a middle of the road somewhere. That's called balance. And that's what Lord Lightning wants to do. He wants to take us and get us to go one way to the extreme or the other way to the extreme and not be balanced in our life. We need balance, folks. If you get a I hope I'm offending anybody. If you get a televangelist on TV, you better go, uh-oh. Be careful. Because there's an agenda most of the time. And it's usually way over there. So, they're dethroned, they're defunded, they're vetoed. Because of all of that, contemporary Christians today, many have become misplaced. It's the power of God. Can I get you to turn to another scripture, please? I'd like you to turn to the New Testament, to Luke chapter 10. This is quite interesting. I'm going to do something that's probably not theologically sound, but I'm going to try it anyhow because I can't come up with any other explanation. And your pastor, I'm sure, he's probably drawn up like I wonder what the world is going to say. I don't know. We guess preachers can come make the best and leave like pastor preachers. In Luke chapter 10, you know the story well. Let's look at verse 1. It says, after these things. Now you can go back and read chapter 9 and 8, 7, 65, and 4, 1. Find out what those things were. You can find that answer, okay? But it says, after these things, the Lord, that's Jesus, appointed, everybody say those next two words. Other what? Now, I don't know, Pastor, if I'm on theological shaky ground or not. But looking through the scriptures, if it says other 70s, there had to have been a first 70 somewhere, right? I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? And I believe every word in the Bible is inspired by God, don't you? I believe the Bible is true. I don't believe there's any mistakes in the Bible. I believe the Bible is inerrant. And so when it says He appointed other 70, also, that word also even adds weight to what I'm about to say. I began to wonder what other 70 was He talking about? And the only place I could find 70 mentioned in the Bible like this at all was in Judges chapter 1, where those 70 sovereigns had been dethroned and defunded and vetoed and disgraced and chained under the table of Lord Lightning. And so it made a connection in my mind. And the connection was borne out even more because later on it says in verse 17 that the 70 returned. Now notice how He sent them out. He sent them out 2 and 2 before His face into every city. But back in verse 1, whither He Himself would come, and He said unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray therefore the Lord of the harvest, that He would send forth laborers into His harvest. Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as what? Say it. Lambs what? Among what? Now let me ask you a question. What would you expect to happen if you sent 70 lambs out among a bunch of wolves? It'd be a mess, wouldn't it? I don't know what you know about wolves. I know just a little bit. I know they bite. And brother, sometimes sheep bite too, don't they? Whoa. They didn't tell me that at Bible school. They left that out. What would happen with 70 sheep you sent out among wolves? I mean, would you even expect them to come back? Would you even imagine they would live? Would you even imagine they could survive? Why would Jesus do that? Why is Jesus sending His people out as lambs among wolves? And you think, oh man, they're dead. They're dead. God said if they do come back, they're going to be bloody. They're going to be messed up. They're going to be ripped open. They're going to be torn apart. But go down to verse 17 and look what happened. Because this is amazing. And the 70 returned again with joy. Say joy. Hallelujah. Saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And He said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Hallelujah. I feel Where God assigns me, He goes with me. And wherever I am, if I'm in His will, I am invincible because of Jesus Christ. And I'm here to tell you something today, folks, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but there's too many Christians living today with the idea that they are nothing, that they are worthless, that they have nothing to offer, and they've lost their power, they've lost their joy, they've lost their strength, they've lost their excitement. But Jesus wants us to stand up and have our thumbs and our toes and our throne and know who we are and not be afraid to stand in the face of the enemy. Under the authority of God's word. Can I tell you a story in closing? We'll talk about Barney Fife. How many of you love Barney Fife? You gotta love Barney Fife. We can all identify with Barney Fife. At some time or another, we all have that feeling that Barney Fife has often displayed in the Andy Griffith Show. I want you to picture for a moment that Andy turns to Barney and he says, Barney, I want you to go out there in I-95, get your whistle and your badge, and I want you to stand there with your one bullet in your pocket. I want you to get in the northbound lanes, and I want you to throw up your hand, blow your whistle, and tell that traffic, Barney goes out there and barreling down I-95, 70 miles an hour, is an 18-wheel. Barney's standing in front. What chance do you think he has? If that truck hit him, it'd be like a bug on his windshield. It would be nothing. The truck driver probably wouldn't even notice. 95 little skinny. But when he moves his hand up and he blows that whistle, he hollers, stop. Something amazing. That truck driver locks it. He presses the brake. He presses the jake brake. He does everything in his power. Brings that 18-wheeler to a screeching halt. Inches away from Barney. Because Barney's so powerful. Because if he hits Barney, he's afraid it'll damage his truck. He could hit Barney and it wouldn't even matter. Be like a flick. Why does he stop? Because Barney's got a badge on. And that badge says, I am sworn to uphold the law. And I am the law. I represent the law. I represent the law. When I say stop, you will stop. And if you won't stop for me, backing me up is the whole North Carolina Highway Patrol. If you don't stop for me, they'll never stop. Guess what, truck driver? If you won't stop for them, guess what's backing them up? The governor will call out the National Guard if he has to. If you won't stop for the National Guard, the President will call out the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, Coast Guard, whatever he has to do, but you're going to stop. Not because of who I am, but because of who I represent. Let me make a guess today, if I may. I don't know any of you other folks that I do, and I mentioned already, but I bet you there's some of you here that have been deformed. Why? Because you've allowed it. You've let yourself get slack. You quit praying, you quit Bible reading, you quit being devoted, and you've lost that realization that you're a king. And Lord Lightning is laughing at you. Aren't you seeing that? And I would guarantee you there's some here who have been defunded. You have quit reading your Bible. You've quit memorizing Scripture. You've quit hiding thy word in your heart that you may not sin against God. You've allowed yourself to become anemic and ignorant of God's word. And Lord Lightning is laughing at you. Some of you here this morning, perhaps you've had your toes cut off and you're no longer balanced, and you've been swept away with every wind of doctrine that blows along. You're unstable. You're unsure of who you are, and whose you are, and what you are. Because of this, you've been displaced. You feel weak. You feel like you've lost your power. But don't you know who? Oh, don't you know you're the children of God? You're the saints of God. You are His anointed ones. You are the ones He has appointed to be kings and priests. You're not weak. You're mighty. You're strong. The Bible says that He has made you more than a conqueror. Wow. And you can stand against Him. Lord Lightning is a liar. He's the father of lies. And if he's convinced you that you are nothing, I think it's high time you stood up and blew your whistle and held up your hand and said, stop. Stop where you are and go no further. I've had enough. I've realized now who I am. I realize now whose I am. And I know who you are. You are a defeated foe. By the blood of Jesus Christ, you are really good. And you're nothing but a shadow. You're nothing. You're nothing. Me, by the blood of Jesus Christ, I'm a saint of God. I'm His anointed one. Get your hands off of God's property. Get your hands off of my finances. Get your hands off of my body. Get your hands off of my marriage. Get your filthy hands off of my children. Get your hands off of my grandchildren. I'll tell you, if you will stand up and you will be counted for God, God will back you up, and the devil will have to stop in his tracks. And if you believe that, I wonder if you would stand to your feet with me right now and just lift your hands and begin to praise God out loud for who He is and what He's done for you and how He has delivered you and how there is no weapon formed against you that can prosper. How that you are more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ. How you know that you know that you know that you are a child of the King. Glory to God. If that doesn't make you shout, I don't know what will. But praise God. You are His. He is yours. And when you walk out of this building today, Lord Lightning's going to do everything in His power to try to convince you. Today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. But I want to remind you who you are today. And I want you to walk in that belief and walk in that faith and walk